welcome back to Conversations Over Coffee, Season 2, brought to you by Revlon Philippines and Belle de Jour Power Planners. My name is Zara Carbonell, the founder of the social startup, and welcome to another episode. So today is extra special. As you can see, it is 5 p.m. and we are doing a Conversations Over Coffee because I know that a lot of women really need to hear the message that we are sending forth today. But before we get to it, do share this with anyone you know who needs to be here. Someone who is always looking to help make a difference, be there for others, but also someone who's always looking for ways to be on top of their game. So tag your overachieving friend, send this to your besties, to your neighbors, to your kabarkadas, and just you can also tag them on the comment section below. If you like content like these, hit that like button, please, and thank you. Awesome. All right, starters, Bellas, and Bold Babes. Can you believe that we are down to our last 3 episodes of the season? It has been such a thrilling experience, really hearing from the best of the best. We've heard from women leaders who have proudly taken strides forward and are now carving the way forward for everyone. And as you know, the underlying theme of the season has been hashtag live boldly. And I hope that you took down notes talaga on how you're able to do that, whether for your life, your love life, your career, and even in your own business. We have learned so much from this season. We have heard from CEOs, from architects, and later on we'll be hearing from a doctor and of course a marketing head and business development head of a tech startup. So talagang ang dami nating takeaway this season. We've also, of course, heard from Ayin Bernos, who taught us what it means to redefine beauty. We've heard from Rica Plaza, Natasha Bautista, talagang ang gagaling ng mga Pinay. And this last season, we heard all about it. Today, as I said, is extra special because we will be talking about the dangerous consequences of hustling. Alam naman natin na pag overachiever tayo, we want to get on top of everything. We really want to be the best that we can be, and there is no shame in that. In fact, that's something to be proud of, really. But syempre may consequences then when all you think about is hustling, how to get better, how to get to the next milestone. So before we drop the bomb here, we want to encourage everyone to share this with their family, their friends. And if you're watching this, you will get a free business ebook by the social startup, and that is called Your Brand Anatomy. And of course, you also get a 1 month health plan care of Konsulta MD. So all you have to do is go to that ticking link below, register, and we will be sending it your way because every woman deserves to build a life that she is proud of. So, that brand anatomy ebook is basically the foundation of your business. Lahat ng kailangan mong malaman para makapagpatayo ka ng sarili mong business is in that ebook. And of course, our Konsulta MD health plan naman, yung 1 month free health plan na yan, is to make sure that all the women watching, or everyone, not just women, everyone watching here today will have a doctor within reach 24/7. So congratulations already in advance. And of course, to catch more of our exclusive announcements, make sure to follow us on Instagram. That's at thesocialstartup.co, at RevlonPHL, at ILoveBDJ, and at Konsulta.MD. Ayan. So napag-usapan na nga natin that a lot of women are always on top of their games, which is an amazing thing. And there are so many people stepping into the shoes of being a girl boss. But the hustle culture is real. Imagine all of a sudden, it is normal na tatlo yung trabaho mo. Normal na may day job ka, may passion project ka. And as much as we love seeing everyone put their best selves forward and everyone be on the track of growth and success, sometimes nakakalimutan rin natin yung setbacks that we have to face that we do face subconsciously when all we're doing is go, go, and go. Diba? Yeah, we don't hear enough of what happens behind the scenes, what the repercussions really are, especially on our health. And today, that is something that we will be talking about. So, everyone, put on your favorite Revlon lippy, grab a pen, your BDJ planners, and of course, your favorite cup of coffee, and let's get down to business. There you go. Our guest for today, my gosh, ladies and gents, I'm so excited to introduce to everyone our guest for today. She is a marketing maven with over 8 years of marketing experience. And these days, she is the head of Marketing and Business Development of Konsulta MD, a tech startup that brings accessible health plans closer to every Filipino. But as tough as the data on her CV looks, she's very warm and friendly, and you will see this for yourselves later. She's a person who can literally be friends with anyone. So long as she's had her cup of coffee in the morning, she can make everyone chica. She is health conscious and a neat freak and an absolute certified starter. So starters, bellas, and bold babes, let's all welcome Miss Pam Lee. Hi, Pam.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Hi, Z. Good
No, good
afternoon.
afternoon nga ba or good evening? Ano ba?
Sorry. Good late afternoon,
Good late afternoon,
semi-eve.
good almost evening. Hi, girls. So
Excited
glad
naman ako sa intro mo. Hello. Thank you for having me.
we are so glad. Just to bring context to this conversation before we get to the real deal. Pam and I go way back, and I'm telling you, like college roommates way back. And sometimes, when we work with each other, or I was reading your CV kanina, sabi ko, low key, high key, proud of you and how our friendship has grown for one, but also how you've really blossomed into the professional that you are today. My gosh. Sabi ko, maarte lang talaga si Miss Pam, pero the things that she's done, wow, amazing. Hi.
I mean, sis, to be friends with you, kailangan nandito rin ako sa level mo.
Yeah. And of course, si Maring Jareen says hello. Context to all our
Hello. Hi,
listeners, Jareen
tita.
is our mother. Our mother. Okay.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very honored. And thank you for that intro, Z.
And so welcome to Conversations Over Coffee. And of course, in full spirit of the show, may kape ka ba? How do you drink
Excited
your
na ako.
coffee?
Mm, KMD colored pa, KMD teal, o 'di ba? Very on brand tayo tonight. So, ano, well, huwag mo kayo judge, but alam mo naman, maarte ako. My coffee actually comes with a lot of things. So I like my coffee with soy milk. On top of that, I always have half a teaspoon of rose powder to help with uplifting, to start off with a positive day. And then
Yeah.
I also put a dash of ashwagandha because that helps. It's an Indian root powder that helps you parang de-stress and calm down. Alam mo naman, agit akong tao, so gusto ko sa morning medyo calm ako pag nagsa-start ako with my day. And then on top of that, I add chia and a dash of cinnamon. So that's how I like my coffee.
I love it. Siyempre, maarte talaga yung friend ko. I did not expect anything less. And it's so funny. So the comment section, they're like, ano daw? I love it, family.
Ay,
Maarte.
saka collagen kasi 'di ba
I
medyo
was
yung
gonna
ano
say,
natin.
yes. So ladies, sana nag-take notes kayo. Don't worry. Miss Family, paki-type naman po sa comment section later on.
Noted.
Lang yan. So if you're a legit person and need to calm down or you need focus, and of course, everyone just needs collagen. Let's do that. Put that in your coffee and it goes a long way. Tatanong ko pa sana kung why, pero na-explain mo na. So, anyhow, our topic for today is the dangerous consequences of the hustle culture of or hustling. So this is a very important topic. Very interestingly, I posted this on Instagram, and there are a lot of people who really click get reminder and parang yung countdown button. They really wanted to be a part of this conversation. So I do hope they're here or they're on the way here. So let's start unpacking that. Okay. So before we get to the heavier things, first off, let's paint the context of the picture, diba? So you are now a lot of things. You have so much experience with marketing and business development. First question is, did you know that you would end up here straight out of college?
Honestly, no. I mean, I've always wanted to be in events. I mean,
Yeah.
bata pa lang tayo, 'di ba? College pa lang tayo,
Mhm.
mahilig na tayo sa ganyan. So, I mean, I started in events and F&B, but I didn't really expect myself to be in a startup. Although may connect siya kasi 'di ba? when you're doing events, you like to do things from scratch. And with startups, it's the same. So I think there's still a connect, and it's actually something that I enjoy. I like building things from scratch and being able to see like the impact of what I do. So that's why I think it's still
Mm-mm.
connected with what I like. And I'm just happy and lucky that I ended up, being in a startup.
Have you always been a startup baby? Like from college kickoff, first job was a startup na?
No, actually, I started. So when I graduated, well, I started as an intern with my very, very first job. Being in OrgCom, I needed to be in an events company for my thesis. So I started there, and then so I was an intern. After a month, they absorbed me. It was basically more of events and F&B. And I was there for 5 years. So I started as an intern, diba? Eventually, I became a marketing officer and then marketing manager. So I really, kinayod ko talaga yung trabaho ko and to get to where I am now. And I
Mm-mm.
believe in that kasi. I believe in hard work and, proving yourself with your job or what you do,
Mm-mm.
diba?
Mm-mm.
And then, so I started in F&B, and then eventually, I was lucky enough to be given the opportunity to be in a startup. So since then, 2019, I started in the startup industry, and I've been enjoying it so far. So ano siya, it's not for everyone, but it's something that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think I'm continuing to learn a lot from it.
Mm-mm. No, yeah, I agree. Na parang every time nga people ask, no, why choose the startup life? Of course, it has its challenges, but also if you're the type of person who wants to really learn hands-on, the startup environment is perfect for you because it's more the hierarchy is more spread out, meaning you get a little bit of everything. Every time you do something, you learn a little bit of content creation, marketing, business dev, operations. You see how the business works from top down, and
Mhm.
like whatever career path you're looking to go into next, it's always helpful to know how businesses function. Like literally, that's the only objective of every company, diba? To
100%.
yeah.
Girl, ipaglinis mo ko, ipagluto mo ko, papuntahin mo ko sa Divisoria para bumili ng supplies. Kaya ko yan. Walang arte-arte sa startup, di ba?
Yeah, as in talagang, oh, all hands on deck on all hands on deck. But ito nga. So, I mean, you and I have both worked in startups, but also your CV says it all, diba? And we've had a lot of questions now. Okay, when do we draw the line of kayod kung kayod, or like where does hard work play versus when does it become toxic hustle?
Yeah. Well, it's always parang you go in that industry, you go in there, parang um, dapat you brace yourself na eh. Parang you should already prepare yourself with what's to come. But then I think it's very important at the end of the day that uh, you learn how to balance your work and your life, at the end of the day, work will always be there, diba? There will be times na yes, we have to do more or give more on certain days, but then you also have to learn how to give back to yourself, how to take a step back, breathe, relax, and recuperate para you can do better and be better in the days to come. Kasi if i-exhaust mo yung sarili mo, tapos hindi ka na and you get to the point na wala na, burn out ka na, it's gonna be hard to go back.
Mm-mm.
And at the end of the day, it's gonna be you who will suffer, diba? It's not gonna be anyone else or the company. It's gonna be you.
Yeah. Totoo, no? And I think parang a hard, let me know if this is something that resonates with you or something that you've heard before also. Parang a hard fact that I had to learn and deal with is knowing that there will always be tomorrow to do, parang to do the um, backlogs. Parang
Mm,
it just never ends. May some days na parang hindi na ubos yung gagawin ko. Bakit ganon? That being the type A naman that I am, I need to see my desktop na talagang, okay, nagawa ko siya lahat. But
cleared
some days,
out.
hindi mo na kaya, girl. Like, some days, wala talaga. Hindi mo siya maubos in one day. And I had to sit with myself and be okay with it. So parang, if anyone here has ever been through that, girl, may bukas pa. Okay lang. Okay lang yan. The world is not gonna end.
Exactly. I used to wish before na sometimes sana we had more than 24 hours in a day so I can just finish all my tasks. But
Yeah.
then a friend told me, na sabi niya, girl, you have to stop. Like at the end of the day, there's always going to be work tomorrow. So parang it's going to be your responsibility and your self-discipline to tell yourself when to stop. 'Di ba? Kasi at the end of the day, if pilitin it and if pilitin mo pang tapusin yung work, the work will not be at 100% anymore. And that will reflect on you, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So better to know when to stop um and to take a break
Yeah.
and then recover and do your work again the next day, diba? It's not
How
a do or die situation.
this is true. And I feel like, well, my background naman was also tech startups, but I got into advertising for a bit. And the agencia life is real,
A
man.
girl.
Gosh, like, am I solving the problems of the world here? Why do I need to submit this today? Bakit kailangan ko hindi matulog hanggang 3 ng umaga, guys? Like, masasolve ko ba yung magkakaroon ba ako ng cure for cancer, ganon? Ano ba? And I feel like it's something we also have to embrace. Na parang I want to know from you, how is your work life balance, like your relationship with work life balance these days?
You know what, Z? Sobrang aligned tayo on that. Before, I mean, when I was younger, I
Yeah.
would always have this mindset na I have to do everything in 24 hours or less. Even with my team. Parang,
Yeah.
if hindi natin to nagawa in less than 24 hours, mabagal tayo. Or hindi
Mm-mm.
ako magaling. Parang, ako, I put yung inner saboteur ko, medyo nilalabanan ako. Parang, alam mo yon parang, I put so much pressure on myself na
Yeah.
pag hindi ko siya nagagawa agad, feeling ko hindi ako at 100% or I'm not at the top of my game. Pero I
Yes.
realized na nobody will die. You know, parang, oh my gosh,
Oh my
Z,
gosh, sis.
are you okay?
Yes. Oh my
Yung
gosh,
topic
I'm
kasi
so sorry.
natin.
Give me a sec.
Go ahead.
um. Yep. Hello, everyone. I am back from outside.
Hi.
Shucks.
I love
Okay.
it. I love the catch. At least your
Give,
camera did it fully.
give me a sec. I'm gonna. Yeah. So that's my mother. This is work from home
Hi,
mode.
tita.
Oh, elevate. Wait. The panic is real. But anyway,
To
nabuhos ko yung.
everyone watching,
Yes,
hello. I hope
everyone
you're
watching.
having a good
Hello.
Wednesday so far.
So
Are you okay there? While Z's cleaning up, I just wanted to say hi to all of the viewers. Actually, guys, you get free Konsulta MD with the social startup. It's actually a 24/7 telemedicine service where you can talk to a doctor any time of the day. Just download the Konsulta MD app. Siyempre, nag-plug ako dito.
Diba? Ang galing mo, hindi. You could be a host. Love it. No, but anyhow, Pam is used to this. I am such a klutz in life. So I do this once a day.
Sanay na ako.
No, right? Please send prayers. My mother is not happy. But anyhow, let's get on with the conversation for now. Okay, so we're talking about work-life balance, diba? Na parang we always feel like we have to get everything done within the day. Has this changed through the years for you, or alam mo yun, parang what compromises have you had to make before?
So before, actually, I would really like work like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I would work from Monday to Sunday, and I don't even know how many hours I work per day. So parang, and at first, syempre, diba, parang it's okay. You know, like I have to do it. Like
Yeah.
it's part of my job. But then eventually it started taking a toll on my health. You know, there were times wherein I would, you know, have to be in the ER or in the hospital because of fatigue or stress and anxiety. And mayroon ring times na hindi ako makatulog. Parang before I go to sleep, you know, parang ang dami kong iniisip, and then I would go to bed feeling or getting, for example, even when I have 8 hours of sleep, parang whenever I wake up, I would still feel like I was working when I was sleeping. Kasi I would be half awake, half asleep, thinking about work, thinking about all the things that I have to do. And
The next day.
eventually, or like the things you have to fix, even like in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
So eventually, you know, it started taking a toll on my health, not just physically, but also mentally. And you know, it's just so important for me these days that, you know, you learn and you try to understand yourself. Na parang, is this really good for me? Will this benefit me in the future, diba? Parang may times, Zina, my friends would call me out na. Parang my best friend would message me, tapos hindi ako magre-reply for one full week, and she would check up on me and be like, "Are you still okay? Are you still alive?"
Live?
Yes, and they would like tag me in stories or be on Instagram. Tapos pagkita ko expired na kasi hindi tagal kong hindi nakita yung phone ko. So when that happened, sabi ko, you know, this is not good for me anymore. Diba? I have to learn how to, you know, take a break and medyo slow down, take a step back, breathe, and analyze and think about things. Kasi at the end of the day, it's also gonna damage me as a person, my work, and also my future. So when that started to happen, I told myself, parang I can't just let, you know, this happened to me. I can't just fall into this downward hill of emotion, stress, anxiety. And then, you know, it got to the point na my mom had to give me a handwritten letter. Oo, peak pa to ng lockdown. Tapos parang she was feeling kasi na I was so just like stressed with everything. And parang she was telling me na, you know, at the end of the day, I'm always gonna be proud of you. Like I will always support you no matter what. So, you know, if you have to quit or take a break, it's okay. Like nobody will die if, you know, you take a break or, you know, just take a leave from work. So eventually, you know, all of my family, my friends were already very concerned about my health. And then that's what made me, you know, really think about it. As in Z, kasi I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. Totally forgot to take care of myself. Hindi na ako nakaka-workout, ganyan. So parang, di ba, parang, when do you really learn how to say no or to stop?
Yeah.
So yun, eventually, yun, parang I decided na wait, kailangan ko tong tigilan, kailangan kong magbago. So yon, parang slowly I started detaching from work on weekends. I'm just lucky I'm in an environment now where I can really take a break on weekends. I don't check my phone on weekends as much as possible. Uh, and I just try to reconnect with family, friends, myself. I do my best to, exercise, uh, do
May tao,
meditation and yoga. It helps.
exercise. No, but
Yung
you know,
exercise na yan.
I think also parang so my previous like situation also, it was really hard because like I think it's us attaching who we are to what we do. Na if the output of our job isn't as superb as always, isn't perfect, then we are terrible people. Alam mo yun, at the back of our heads, I feel like there's a dialogue there that we tell ourselves that I have to do this by today. I have to do this right now. Otherwise, I'm not the best. I'm not giving it everything, or I don't deserve where I am today. And it's really self defecating also when we're the first people to tell ourselves that. And I feel like with what you said, it's really boundaries and bandwidth. Like understand what your mental capacity is in a day and how many tasks you can fit in there without burning out. Na parang I don't know. Well,
Totally
I'm
agree.
so type A na parang I need to have three things I was able to do for myself, even if it's just sit down, have a coffee for 30 minutes or like do a 30-minute yoga and then have dinner peacefully. Alam mo yun, just three things for
Mm,
myself. So I know that I'm also clocking in the time necessary for me because like you, alam mo yun, the burnout is real, especially when you know that you can do more and you really really want to because you believe in what you're doing. It's just your health is on the line too. um
exactly.
diba? And I'm excited because in a bit we will be bringing in a doctor who will tell us more about it. So yeah, okay, so speaking of about work life balance, burning out, was there any like health concern or like repercussions that really affected your health because of this full on hustling that you went through?
It was definitely, there were. Uh, it came to the point na I was having so much anxiety, tapos fatigue. So parang, like, there were just, yung parang naka-autopilot ka na lang kasi hindi mo na alam. So parang, I would get crazy palpitations. Sleeping was very, very hard for me. May time, kailangan ko ng mag-take ng pills para makatulog. Kailangan, lahat na natake ko, lahat ng tea, lahat ng pills, lahat ng pwedeng, even with meditation and yoga before sleeping, hindi ko siya magawa. But then, at the end of the day, you're gonna be responsible for yourself. Eh. Parang you cannot blame your environment, you cannot blame your work, you cannot blame
Shortcuts
the
mo
people
yan.
around you. Oo, parang pinabayaan mong ma-experience mo to eh, di ba? Parang I'm gonna be responsible for what I allow to happen in my
Mm,
life, what
yeah.
others do to me. So, um, slowly I started, practicing detaching before I go to bed. I would try to meditate, kahit 5 minutes lang of breathing exercises. Um, and then actually, this ashwagandha talaga, it helped me. So I saw na parang it's a root powder kasi that helps with
Okay.
stress and anxiety. So I bought it and then eventually parang I just saw good things about it online. Tapos it's all natural kasi. So sabi ko, let
Yeah.
me give this a try. And then it took me parang a week for it to slowly work. And then
Okay.
eventually parang, I would get better sleep. You know, uh, I would wake up calmer and I would normally start the day not being so anxious about the things that I have to do or accomplish.
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah, no,
yon.
kasi syempre, the people also watching, they'd like to know na parang, okay, ano ba yung action steps? Because I'm sure a lot of people are finding it hard, want to detach, na parang my self-worth is what I do. Especially that I don't know if it's just me, but when people ask me what I do, it's like the hardest question in the universe. Parang, ano ba yung answer dito? And I feel like obviously the thing we all end up with is what we do for a living, or like what we do professionally. And na parang that's why we attach so much who we are into what we do, is because when people ask us, what do you do? I'm sure your answer is, oh, I'm the marketing head and business dev, diba? Which is true, which you should be proud of, but also we are, more than just what we do. We're supposed to be allowed to be
Exactly.
more than just what we do, and take credit for the things that we believe in, things we do when we're not clocked in. So I guess, it's also very helpful because with Belle de Jour, they have power planners that help you set aside time for yourself, jot down things you're grateful for. As cheesy as it sounds, that is something that super helped me also, to
Same.
find myself again, especially nung, workaholic beings
Alam
is
ko
real.
yon, G.
Legit,
Nakikita ko yung mga days mo na yon. Tapos ang
legit.
payat-payat mo, grabe, you were like, this skinny.
Yeah, and it's scary looking back because there were days that I would start working at 6 in the morning. I would end at like 12 midnight, and if Steve doesn't hand me food, I literally do not eat. As in, I bring my laptop to the bathroom. I kid you not.
Mhm,
Just because I
mhm.
need to take meetings. It's my only chance to shower. I have 5 minutes. Naka-timer pa siya, sis.
Ako nga, hindi na nakaka-shower eh.
But only because in my head, I have to
Diba?
do a good job.
Exactly.
Diba? So it's exhausting until obviously like there are repercussions. That's why I asked you if there were any health repercussions, and you mentioned very much like mental health, and that is an absolute big thing. Ako nga, parang my mental health at the time was already like on the rocks, but also my physical health, I feel like that was the
Exactly.
thing that kicked it. Na there, long story short, just to keep the episode within time frame, but like they had found a lump on my neck eventually because of stress and fatigue, and I was like, what? You can grow lumps because of stress? I,
Mm, mm.
and to me, I thought I was doing my job, and when you find out that there's something super intense happening to your body, and you don't know how many days, months, years you have left, all of a sudden you realize, pag namatay ba ako tomorrow, tinanong ako ni God, anong ginawa
Exactly.
ko? Ang answer
Pag
ko,
namatay ako tomorrow, ano mangyayari? Di ba? Dahil sa
parang wala, wala
trabaho?
pa rin cure. Parang pag tinanong ako ni God, ano answer ko? OT po, God, OT. Ano ba?
Sabi, di ba? May friend nga ako, Z, sabi niya, uy, baka ikamatay mo na yan. Sabi ko, grabe ka naman.
And it's crazy because,
Natawa
but
ako sa OT yung reason, God.
hello po, sorry po God, andito po ako ngayon kasi OT po ako na OT. So guys, galingan nyo dyan.
Hallelujah na po
Sabihin mo,
ako.
God, not acceptable. But also it happens, and it's really sad, and I do want to know more about it, um like scientifically, because in different industries, especially like in the entertainment industry, they have put their foot down to say that okay, kailangan may cap na ang hours ng pag-shoot or pag-taping natin, kasi so many directors, so many actors have also fallen into physical illnesses that led to some of them even death because of the lifestyle. I mean, it's not a one-off thing. You don't sleep late for one day and get stressed for one day and that's it. But also because of your obsession of what you do and your attachment of who you are to what you do, the lifestyle gets so intense. So
Exactly.
ay nako. Anyhow,
Sobrang 100% girl.
diba? And so kanina we were talking about work-life balance. So meron ng it's a 2020 update, ganyan. 2020, 2021 na kasi. So yung iOS nag-update to work-life harmony. Like we're not supposed to be striving anymore for work-life balance na okay, 3 hours for this, 2 hours for this, 1 hour for that. Right? Ngayon daw, kailangan you have to find something you love doing that you can integrate with the rest of your life seamlessly, na hindi you don't feel like chop suey.
Yes.
Diba? Does that make sense to you? And I feel like this is something na that's why I'm so happy with Konsulta MD. Number one is that it's a cause that you believe in. It's a
Mhm.
cause that you can testify for also na parang everyone needs this. Because imagine if we didn't have access to healthcare at the time we were experiencing what we were experiencing. Ano na?
Girl, hindi ko na alam kung saan ako pupulutin ngayon, to be honest.
Sana may
Diba, we're lucky kasi my best friend is a doctor, your best friend is also a doctor. So, we're
yeah,
just lucky enough to have these people in our lives. But
yeah, and
then,
mm,
for me these days, it's so helpful that we are embracing, our mental health more.
yes.
People are more aware of, anxiety, and they're not afraid to talk about it. So I think that's also one thing that, we're very proud of in Konsulta MD, is that we're able to give this kind of support and help and access to all the Filipinos nationwide, diba? If you're
Absolutely.
feeling anxious at 2 in the morning, diba, parang normally, anxiety, ano yun pumapatak ng ganyang oras. So, ano gagawin mo? Hindi mo alam, wala kang kausap, wala kang tatawagan, your friends and family are asleep, ayaw mo sila guluhin. Diba? Parang, I'm just happy that in our time now, meron tayong pwedeng tawagan anytime. And, you can actually talk to a licensed professional, a psychologist, to
Mm.
help you, diba? With anything you're going through. May it be
This is so
physical, mental.
true. Kasi na parang, like, when I found that lump on my neck, believe it or not, and you would think for someone as smart as us, we would be like, Doc, something's wrong with me right away. Sis, you need to take a
Google mo.
like I literally I was waiting. I thought it was like a muscle that I strained, and then I at first I thought it was stiff neck, and then a muscle that I strained, and then I did like some random yoga. Alam mo yun, I tried to self-medicate. Ano ba siya? And then
Sakit
when it
natin
was
yan.
big already, and I had no choice, and I FaceTimed my best friend, and she was like, "Girl, that's not normal. It's time to go to the doctor." And parang, what if I didn't have her? Diba? Now
Exactly.
everyone can have a best friend doctor called Konsulta MD.
Ikonsulta mo na yan.
Ayan, speaking of consulta,
Speaking
ito na,
of,
syempre hindi naman kami doctor, but yung tips namin is, stuff that we've done. So again, boundaries, bandwidth, self-awareness, yung ilalagay sa mga coffee nyo, girls, families got you covered. Ta-type niya yan mamaya. But so while Pam Lee is typing all her skincare tips and self-care tips, I will introduce our special guest for today, who is a doctor, so that we can actually ask questions. So if you have any questions related to burnout, to the hustle culture, if you have any experiences or insights that you want to share, do put that in the comment section below, and then we will raise it to Doc. To Doc. It's not family, don't worry. We have a special guest today. She graduated as cum laude with a BS in psychology, then an MD from Ateneo de Manila University, and a registered psychometrician. So her name is Dr. Paola Quidlat. She is here with us today. She is an academic and a mental health advocate who enjoys traveling and events in her free time. There you go. A true girl boss who loves everything about the morning, coffee, breakfast, everything in between. She's absolutely your type of guy. Gal kasi. Hi, Paula. Paula,
hi,
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, Pam. Hi, Z. Good afternoon.
good after Eve.
good evening.
Madilim na.
Ano ba? So, first question, do you prefer Paula or Paula or
Actually, it's Paula.
Paula, noted with thanks, best regards?
Oh, sorry, Paula.
Yes, Paula.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hi, Doc. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me as well. I enjoyed the first part of your conversation with
Super
Pam.
chica. Which is
Diba?
also, Pam and I
I
got
learned so much.
Doc,
when
share ko
we
sa'yo yung coffee regimen.
Yeah.
yes, pakisisi kaming lahat, please. But yeah, Doc, parang when we thought about this episode, we really said that, you know what, I'm sure we're not the only people who are going through this, who have been through this, and it's best to also bring a doctor on board so that we know, like, what is the science behind all of this. But of course, before we get there, kailangan natin ng official picture muna, Doc. Okay, before I
Ayan.
ask the first question, kasi, yeah. Ready? Ready, set, go! Yan. Safety shot daw.
Oh, sige.
Doc, may mug ka ba dyan?
Wala.
So, as you know, I spilled mine, but here's my mug anyway.
O, diba? Doc, tingnan mo, KMD branded pa yung akin, no? O, diba?
Wow.
Hindi siya KMD branded, KMD colored.
Okay na ba? 1, 2, 3,
Ay, wait,
Jella.
who's taking?
1, 2, 3. Okay, great.
Love it.
So ayan, Doc. So today we were talking about stress, burnout, and the effects of overworking on our health, right? So we already know that stress is bad, and yet we keep putting ourselves in these situations. Um, so I think to start with, we'd like to know what happens like in the human body. Like, how does stress affect us, like, and our health?
Okay, sige. So, that's a good question to start with, no? Kasi we need to first differentiate na not all stress is bad, no? So, there's
Okay.
good stress, and there's also what you call parang bad stress. So, I think that's what we need to differentiate first and foremost. So, what is good stress and what is bad stress? So, good stress is the kind of stress that motivates you to do better, no? So, yung parang yung it's the stress that actually drives you to perform better at your work, perform better in school. But how does it become what you call bad stress? No? So it becomes bad stress when it actually affects your health na in other ways. So parang nagkakaroon ka na ng physical symptoms, physical manifestations. So like Pam earlier, no, she said na hindi na siya nakakatulog, no? So hirap makatulog. So those are just some signs and symptoms na the stress that you may be experiencing is not anymore stress that is productive. It's not stress that is actually pushing you to be better, pushing you to perform better at your work. So it has become actually parang it has led you to burnout. No, so we have that concept of burnout as well.
Doc, how do you draw the line between, I mean, you mentioned that there are two kinds of stress, right? Good stress and bad stress, but also some would argue that with good stress, even if there may be physical manifestations, it's still somehow good stress because at the back of your head you want to do better tomorrow. So like, where's the line? Like, where do we draw na parang, okay, that now converts into bad stress,
Yeah.
or
Okay. So
overachievers lang kami?
so actually, na-mention nyo rin earlier yung setting boundaries, no? So, it's really important that you guys set boundaries, that we all set boundaries kasi we need to be able to recognize ano ba yung mga burnout and mga related signs and symptoms. So, yun nga, when you feel like you're tired most of the time, and you have like also emotional aspects like you feel helpless, hopeless, you feel detached socially. So like si Pam, another example, Pam. So si Pam, she
Grabe,
wouldn't
Doc.
reply to her friends for a
Doc, ako na
week.
naman.
No? So yeah,
Nandun
so
ako sa
actually
lastahan ni Doc.
yun.
No,
So
but
those are actually
speaking of,
fine.
yes, I was gonna say, speaking of boundaries and growth and work life balance, Pam is a changed woman actually, and which is why I was gonna say we're gonna let her go early because
Sorry.
she actually has a life and she has plans at 6 p.m. May pa dinner sila. So sabi ko, Pam,
Oo.
a great insight para all our viewers can see also na, okay, I did my part, I showed up and did what I love, but also I make time for the things that matter to me.
Maximize na natin yung holiday. So, sorry guys, I have to step out. I have a dinner at 6, so I will rush to Makati. But thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure catching up with you, Z, Doc, Paula. I'm so happy that we're doing this together. And good luck with the rest of the segment. And thank you guys. Good
Bye,
night.
Pam. Good
Bye.
night.
See, so Bella starters, bold babes, as we were mentioning, and of course, Doc Paula also mentioned that boundaries is very, very important. So there, Doc. Okay, so good stress and bad stress, and learn to set healthy boundaries. Tama ba? Did we miss anything?
So, in setting those boundaries, you need to be able to recognize what are the signs of burnout. So, Yun
Okay.
nga, there are actually three aspects to it. You have physical signs, you have the emotional signs, and the behavioral signs. So physical signs, other people would have frequent headaches, back pains, and for you, Divazi, you had that lump, no, that actually just came out of nowhere, no, and then other people would have changes in their appetite, no? So, yung iba hindi kumakain, on the other extreme, and sobra kumain. So, both are also bad for your health. And also changes in your sleep patterns, no? So, some people would sleep too much, oversleep, and some would have insomnia naman. For the emotional signs, you would always have you not feeling helpless, hopeless. You feel detached, not just from your friends, you also feel detached from the work. So imagine yourself versus your day one at this job when you were so excited versus now that you feel the burnout, you feel the stress, that it has become too much. You don't feel excited anymore to do your job, to actually go in to work. Parang you're feeling that you're just dragging yourself to get to work in the morning. So you have that decreased motivation. And then finally, behavioral science, no? So some people would isolate, procrastinate. Some would use, unfortunately, drugs or alcohol to, of course, curb their stress. For students, some of them would skip classes, no, and would withdraw from their responsibilities. So you have to recognize those signs, and then once you've recognized those signs, you need to be able to learn when to seek for help, no. So it's important that you know yourself, you know your boundaries na ito lang, this is what's good for me. But once I've recognized the bad signs of stress, then maybe that's the time you would need to ask for help.
Yeah. Okay, everyone watching, I hope you're taking down notes kasi sometimes doc, when you love what you do naman talaga, it's easy to forget like time, and it's easy to forget about how you're feeling, and you think that it's just a one-off thing, or like I'm just tired today, or I'm just not having a great day, right? Because it's a repetitive thing until one day you wake up and then ayun na. So I feel like for everyone watching, take note talaga of the things that Doc Paula said, so that you also know that, okay, maybe this is already stress, this is burnout, and then know when to hit the brakes. Diba? Doc, actually, very curious. But syempre, when you're in corporate or when you own your own business, it's easy to say that okay, I'm gonna take a break this Saturday, or on Sunday. But paano yung doctors? Like, 'di ba, your hours are super long shifts. You don't really get to choose naman when patients come in. So how do you balance work and life also?
So, in our field, it's important to really rely on the healthcare staff. No, so it's really important that you have people around you who will be able to you can deck with. So we have that concept of decking na kapag lunchtime, no, so siyempre hindi naman pwedeng maiwan yung patient. So decking kayo kung sino yung unang kakain, sino yung makakatulog sa gabi for just a few hours, 2 hours, ganyan. So we have that kind of system wherein we really rely on the healthcare team talaga, and it's really a team effort at the end of the day. And then those are during duty hours. And then of course when we do get our breaks, our days off, then talagang we really try to do the things that we really enjoy, no? So it's really important for us to be able to do things that we love then,
Mm-mm.
aside from the hustle of medicine.
Yeah, no, I wanted to ask because syempre, are like everyone's days, I like they look different, diba? And for example, people who have been working from home now, or people who work in corporate, they often get thrown the phrase na nasa tapat ng computer ka lang naman. So like, how tiring can that really be? So I think this is also something that we want to hear from you. How does fatigue work in the sense that it's less physical? Because totoo naman, you're sitting down the whole day, and the next thing you know, it's like 10 p.m. And the most muscle exercise you really get are like typing. So how does that affect our health, like both mental and physical, I guess?
All right. So since the Zoom culture, since the pandemic started,
Yes.
no. So um naging accessible kasi yung mga employees to their employers na you're just at home, no? I can ask you to do this anytime since
Yeah.
you're just at home, you're online all day. But that's the kind of culture that actually promotes or permeates that burnout, that kind of negative stress in the company. Kasi we still need to set the boundaries. No, we always go back to the boundaries. So kapag you're out at 5 p.m., talagang what Pam does, no? So talagang when you're out at 5 p.m. and if hindi naman talaga urgent yung emails or messages, then try to really not respond until the next day, no? So yun talaga eh, kasi that kind of fatigue na tingin kasi ng employers na you're so accessible that I
Mm-mm.
want this right now because you're just at home, you're online. And that kind of expectation
Yeah.
is really something that we need to be able to change in this pandemic kasi it really takes a toll on everyone's mental health and of course physical health as well. So,
Mm-mm.
in terms of mental health, of course, syempre nagkakaroon ka ng anxiety, of course, the stress builds up, and of course, yung minsan mahirapan kang humindi kasi boss mo yun, di ba? But we need to be able to really take care of ourselves. So, I think this pandemic, the positive thing that has come out of this pandemic is yung um, highlight on self-care.
Yeah.
Since we're at home, no, we have more time for ourselves. Hindi naman ang punot dulo ng buhay natin ay pagtatrabaho lang. Because
Oo.
at the end of the day, all we have is ourselves, no? So, yun talaga yung kailangan nating protektahan yung sarili natin. And of course, aside from mental health, physical health as well. So, if you're expected to send in an output within tonight, syempre, pagpupuyatan mo yan. And of course, lack of sleep really does take a toll on the physical health as well. So, it really is that kind of fatigue that employers put into their employees is really something that we should be able to stop, no, given this work from home setting.
Mm. Paano, Doc, if it's the other way around? For example, the employer naman doesn't expect um I'm asking in context also of most of the people who will be watching this are either business owners or their like own bosses sometimes, or sometimes they're in higher up positions that technically the boss naman will forgive if you don't reply right now, but it's also that mentality of attachment to what you do na parang it's just 1 second, I'm just gonna reply. Or when you see that red notification and you're just like, oh, I just want to get it out. So are there tips on like how a person can properly address that? Because doc, sometimes it just never ends, ha? Like the emails, I get surprised, I wake up the next day. Paano ko nagka 99 emails? Natulog lang naman ako. Hindi ko alam how to achieve, but yeah.
All right. So at the end of the day, you need to be able to cultivate the ability to self reflect. No, so you have to realign kasi your goals and your expectations. So if your goal is to really have that a positive mental health or healthy ka mentally, physically, socially, then yun yung isipin mo eh, yun yung priority mo, yourself. So you will be able to have that control na I won't answer emails tonight. I will let them sit on my inbox unread until tomorrow morning. So you need to have that ability to self-reflect, realign your goals. So
Yeah.
what is really important for you ba? Is it really important that you reply to these emails or mas importante ba yung sarili mo? And
Shocks.
guys, I always tell this, no? It's really important because we only have ourselves at the end of the day. And you need to really take care of yourself, both mentally and physically.
Mm-mm. I feel like I know there was a study on it, but I forget where it was that literally the red circle of the notification, it pings a part of our brains now, para we're more alert. I mean, that's the goal of it, that's why it's a notification, right? But obviously if every box on your phone has a red circle, then I kind of get why you get a jit. I do. So I've been turning off, Doc, talaga my notifications. And so for me to see those messages, I have to be 100% intentional. I have to go to that app and open it manually, and that's the only time they're gonna pop in. This has been helpful to me. If anyone here has ever experienced the same thing, I suggest go to settings, notifications off, off, and off, and then just go there on like designated hours. If you have to set an alarm, do that. Because doc talaga, like it gets really hard when so many messages keep coming in and you're just one person, and while nobody expects it of you, you expect it of yourself because diba, it takes a minute to reply, but also that 1 minute you never know what you're going to see in that message, and you're going to try to solve that problem throughout dinner and throughout your hanging out with your friends and throughout your sleep sometimes. So yeah, I hope that helps. Not a doctor, but self-care tip.
Yeah, actually, what I like what you said, no, you have to be intentional about it. So, yun, setting up those settings, like for me, when I'm not on duty, I put my phone on do not disturb at night. So,
Diba?
so I don't receive any notifications at all, and then I'll just have to see them in the morning. So, yun,
Yeah.
you really have to be intentional about it. So, yeah, meron na rin namang mga apps and like settings wherein you can really just filter out the notifications that you will just receive, no? So that you don't have that yun picking up on what you said about the research, no? So it activates kasi yung fight or flight system in our body that puts you in like I have to focus, I have to really get into this message. When you see that notification, when you see that red button, or when you hear that ping, so a part of our brain activates, and it you go into fight or flight mode, and then you just feel like it's now or never. But yun
Right.
nga, you have to be intentional about it talaga
Mhm.
na, because
Mhm.
the automaticity of our brain tells you na yun nga, you have to respond to it immediately. But you, as a self-reflecting and intentional person, you know what to do to be able to control yourself and just
Mark
try
as
not to
unread.
read those.
This is how to control. No, but I love what you said about do not disturb. I do that, doc. Ako naman airplane mode because for some reason I'm I'm so easily distracted that a light on my phone, I'm literally like at 11 p.m. I wake up, and so it has to be airplane mode, naka face down, super specific, and in the other room. That's how. I mean, okay, so context also to everyone, doc, that lump on my neck was a major cancer scare. And all of a sudden, I was 27 years old, and I'm like, what? I can die in a month? How did I get here? And so from there, guys, please don't wait for that to happen. But from there, I had to be like powerful in the discipline area of setting my boundaries that, okay, it is a Saturday. I'm not this can wait. No one is gonna die if if I don't reply to this. If I mark as unread until Monday afternoon. So yeah, I hope everyone also watching this, one, you feel seen and heard. Number two, I hope you picked up a few things also. I think Doc, last two questions. One is, can you walk us through how the human body experiences these experiences or like these situations para we know what's going on in our minds and in our bodies so that alam mo yun, these experiences also make us feel na sometimes shocks, ako lang ba to? Am I just being weird? O ilang ba ako? Like what are the things that we can anticipate so that we know, okay, I should stop, or this is not healthy anymore, or this is actually toxic work environment anymore.
Yeah, okay. So actually, yung most common na mga physical signs would be headaches, and others would have mga digestive system problems as well. So they'd be vomiting, or they won't be able to digest their food. Some would also have yung sleeplessness, no? So these are, you might think they're minor health symptoms, but these minor health symptoms can actually affect your health in the long term. Kasi if you're more exposed to these stress symptoms, what they call them as stress symptoms, you're at higher risk for heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, and other lifestyle diseases when you age. So when you like reach mga 30s, 40s, ganyan.
Oh,
So if
shucks.
as early as now, in your 20s, you are experiencing so much stress and you have these minor physical symptoms that you just parang pinabalewala mo lang, no? So in the long run, no, these stress symptoms can actually contribute to those lifestyle diseases in the future. So
Doc,
as
what nga
early
are
as
the
now,
lifestyle diseases?
so these are heart diseases, high blood pressure, diabetes, mga metabolic syndrome diseases. So those are things kasi na they're called lifestyle diseases because exactly because of your lifestyle. So if you live a stressful life and that stressful life leads you to binge eat, junk food, fatty food,
Yeah.
fried food, fast food, processed food, or if that stressful life leads you to sleep less, no? So and also get into drugs, addiction, etc. So the stress kasi will lead you to many behavioral negative behaviors that can lead you to these lifestyle diseases. Kaya we really emphasize yung yung interaction between physical and mental health, no? So if you have poor mental health, it can exacerbate it or it can lead to mga physical health diseases like yun nga, the lifestyle diseases. And at the same time, if you have mga lifestyle diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart
Hmm.
diseases, etc., these naman can also give you mental health symptoms as well kasi you might feel sad because of your disease, you might feel hopeless, ganyan. So it's really they're really intertwined, no? So you cannot neglect your physical health and you cannot neglect your mental health because they both play a big role, each of them talaga.
Yeah, and girls, guys, and everybody, I hope we took a lot from that because most of us, especially when we're younger or relatively younger, or we want to believe we're young, whatever it is, a lot of us kind of take for granted our health kasi kaya pa naman. And because we're all after the bottom line, and that, syempre, doc, may goals tayo. So sometimes, alam mo yun, there are some compromises that you make as a professional, I guess. And I think this applies in every industry. But I do hope that we take the time to reel ourselves back and reassess how worth it is it nga ba yung ginagawa mo. I mean, doc, if it's a one-off thing, I guess I'm not a doctor, but like, is it less? For example, you have to stay up late for work, like once in a month or something like that. How's that? Like, meron bang number of
Okay.
times?
Well, ideally kasi every person gets 7 to 8 hours. So for that's for adults, no? But
Okay.
then if there really is di maiiwasan na days or nights na talagang you would have to
Yeah.
extend or like really have shortened sleep hours. It will take days kasi before your body recuperates. So it's not advisable then na there really is no set time or set parang set na how many nights in a month na you can just not sleep, no? But yun nga, you really have to just think about it in that way na if nagpuyat ka tonight, it will take a few days before your body can fully recuperate from the loss of sleep tonight. So
So it's not
keep that
pala,
in.
doc, like if I sleep late tonight and I take a nap tomorrow, bawi na ako. Hindi ganun.
When if have you tried that? Do you feel relaxed after? Parang 'di ba hindi rin? You
Hindi
feel
rin. But
actually more tired, no? Kasi it doesn't
groggy.
it's not as easy as yun nga. It's not as easy as that.
Oh,
So
shit.
talagang it takes time talaga for our bodies to recuperate from a night of lost sleep.
Noted. Last question, doc. What can companies do to support their teams now? So whether you're an employer or an employee, what can your team do to support your health?
All right. So, I think we touched upon it a bit earlier, no? So, well, again, setting boundaries, no? So, if your time out at work is at 5 p.m., no? So, set that culture na, um, you don't have to reply to the email and just read it up in the morning. Tapos some companies would also have mga Zoom bonding sessions just like once a month or twice in a month. Now they don't talk about work, no, they just get to know each other because most of these people they haven't even met each other physically or
Yeah.
face to face, diba? So that's a good bonding session na you just join a Zoom session, get
Yeah.
to know each other. Like they some companies would actually facilitate games pa, and
Yeah.
they would have prizes and stuff like that, no. So really setting that kind of culture in your company na it's not na you need to learn to set boundaries for yourself and for
Mm,
the work that you put in, no. So
mm,
it's important na aligned kayo dun. So these are my
yeah.
expectations, these are your expectations, and we're both aligned, and that will help you guys.
Mm-mm. All right. So thank you so much again, Doc Paula. And of course, I just wanted to echo what you said that it's up to the companies. So whether you're an entrepreneur, an employee, or an employer, company culture really matters because it's the foundation that builds on how people work. And as much as, of course, Zoom parties are fun, pizza parties are fun, but also company culture is how you tolerate each other, how you deal with responses, how you like the language that you use, how you send your emails, what time you send your slacks. Like just to put it out there, company culture goes a long, long way. So I do hope that whether again wherever you are on the spectrum, you take this into consideration. And if you do have the power to make things better for even just one other person in the company, I hope that you take that on because it goes a far, far way. All right. Thank you so much, Doc Paula. There you go, starters, Bellas, and Bold Babes. Now we know how dangerous the hustle culture can be. I hope that you learned alongside us this evening. If you like this episode, do hit that like button. We love to know what you felt about today's talk. So do drop comments on the comment section and share this with your friends. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Paula Quidlat.
Thank you.
Nice
Bye.
being here, Doc. All right. We are coming to an end, but before we do, we want to remind everyone that we are giving away our brand anatomy ebook for free. And of course, Konsulta MD is giving away 1 month free health plan. So all you have to do is go to the ticking link below, and we will be getting in touch with you very, very soon to give you access to your health plan and your free ebook. We would love to be a part of your journey to yourself and to your success. So for more business tips, do follow us on Instagram. That's at thesocialstartup.co. This season is presented by Revlon Philippines, Belle de Jour Power Planners, and of course, is supported by Konsulta MD. Thank you so much, starters, for spending the last hour with us wherever you may be. Be sure to join us again on our next episode. This is happening this coming Monday, I believe, with Miss Ariel Escalona of Pure Nectar. So we will see you then. Mark your BDJ planners, ladies. We can't wait to see you. This has been your host and the founder of the social startup, Zara Carbonell, reminding you to fill your weekly cup with coffee, affirmations, and a whole lot of magic. See you soon.